Welcome to the AnthroArt Podcast, a space of anthropological insight connected to real-life situations. Here we explore topics of social inequality and inclusion, sustainability, and the social self. We aim to bring a more nuanced understanding of our world and its challenges, but also inspiration and ideas on how to solve them together. We hope you enjoy it.
Challenges and strategies for including sustainability in the social control of the municipal school feeding councils in Minas Gerais in the National School Feeding Program. Introduction. In Brazil, the National School Feeding Program, PNAE, was created in 1983, but originated in 1955, during the government of Getúlio Vargas, with the school meal campaign. From 2009 onwards, with the regulation of Law Number 111.947, the program was linked to promoting sustainable development, establishing that at least 30% of the funds transferred by the federal government to the PNAE must be spent on family farming. Family farming is a form of agricultural production practiced in many Brazilian municipalities, and it constitutes a strategy for sustainable, social, economic, and cultural development. In this context, aiming for advances in sustainable socio-economic development, food and nutrition security (SAN), and student health, the National Fund for Education Development (FNDE) published on May 8, 2020, the resolution number 6/2020 of the Deliverable Council (FNDE), which provides for the provision of school meals to students with the scope of the PNAE, presenting changes to the school meal menu, to reinforce the presence of natural and minimally processed foods, especially of agroecological, organic, and family farming origin. The presence of foods from socio-biodiversity that respects local eating habits, culture, and sustainability. Considering the dimensions of sustainability in the PNAE, more specifically the environmental dimension, since the school is an educational environment, with the potential to work on awareness and create broader contours, one can cite fundamental approaches, for example, the control of waste and the irrational use of food, as well as the relationship with the regeneration of organic and even inorganic waste, represented by plastic packaging, for the environment and the impacts on public spending. Because of the above, the School Feeding Council, CAE, contemplates the foundation of the Constitution of Federative Republic of Brazil, which aims at the participation of public authorities and civil society in the formulation, implementation, and control supervision of the public policies. The CAEs have, among their functions, the guarantee of SAN in schools, and, to this end, they monitor the public resources that are transferred by the FDEE with the executing entities. According to the CD/FDNE, Resolution number 06/2020, the CAE is composed of 2 representatives of civil society, education workers and students, representatives of students' parents, and 1 representative of the executive branch, totaling 7 members. Renewal is every 4 years. Therefore, this work aimed to understand the performance of municipal CAEs in the state of Minas Gerais, in social control and in the dimension of sustainability of the PNAE, in addition to evaluating the effect of an educational intervention in the intention of counselors to act. Methodology. Research characterization. This is an action research, which is defined as an empirically based social research model that is developed in association with an action or with the resolution of a collective problem, where participants and researchers are involved in the situation in a participatory or cooperative manner. In this work, action research was guided by the use of qualitative methods and techniques, such as discussion groups and content analysis. To characterize the sample, quantitative analysis of mean, median, and standard deviation were also performed. Recruitment. The research was approved by the National Research Ethics Commission, CONEP, under CAA number 531-94421.0.0000.5142, option number 460.401. Participants were aware of the Free and Informed Consent Form, FECF, which was signed after reading and agreeing to participate in the research. Approximately 1,200 individuals, representing 400 municipalities in the state of Minas Gerais, were invited electronically, via email, as registered on the ePNAE platform, an application associated with the PNAE. The inclusion criteria were: individuals who were part of the school filling program in a municipality in Minas Gerais and were available to participate in the virtual meetings that will take place according to the pre-scheduled dates and time. Educational intervention, workshop, and discussion groups. The educational intervention carried out was a workshop consisting of 2 virtual and synchronous meetings by the Zoom platform. The meetings took place on August 8th and 11th, 2022, lasting 2 hours each. The workshops were moderated by a researcher with experience in discussion groups and the participation of 2 nutritionists as speakers. In addition to the synchronous activities, the workshop included asynchronous activities in the virtual learning environment, Moodle, with the provision teaching materials, discussion groups, presentations, and short videos of the YouTube channel of Reforce Project, training network for the preparation of healthy and sustainable meals in schools, linked in this research. The discussion groups were guided by the following questions. What activities within the scope of the PNAE does the CAE, which I am party, carry out? How can I contribute to ensuring sustainability and health through social control carried out by CAE? As the technique predicts, the discussion group sought the active participation of the subject in the research, granting the freedom to express their opinion about the meaning of their actions related to their daily life. Evaluation of the effect of educational intervention in the Intervention Act of Counselors. At the end of the second day of workshop, the participating counselors answered the searcher questionnaire, the questions of which aim to identify the intention to change the exercise from fiscal control to the PNAE. The change researched were those that had an impact on the control of school meals, aiming at healthy and adequate food whose production is focused on sustainability. Content analysis. For the analysis of quantitative data, the thematic method, content analysis method, proposed by Bardin in 1997 was used, which seeks to identify the subject attitudes concerning the objects they speak of when they express their opinions about content. This analysis has 3 stages, which are pre-analysis, the exploration of the material, and processing of results, interference, and interpretation. The pre-analysis consists of organizing the materials, and for this, 5 steps are fundamental, namely exhaustiveness, representativeness, homogeneity, relevance, and exclusivity. The exploration of the material consisted of coding the data, which was the moment in which the data was systematically transformed and aggregated into units. In the treatment of results, interference, and interpretation, the basis of the analysis was carried out following the theoretical framework, which providing the meaning of interpretation. To this end, the content was organized into categories, characterized by a set of elements that together cover a specific theme. Except from the counselor's speeches, defined as quotes, that illustrates the element's addresses and degree of intensity, which includes the occurrence of which element came to light among the participants during the discussion group, being 1. Used for occurrence of the element, 2. For 2, and 3. For 3 or more occurrences. Results. Based on the analysis of the transcript of the statements presented in the discussion group requiring the guiding question, what activities within the scope of PNAE does the CAE, of which I am part, carry out? It was possible to group them into the following categories of answers. The most frequent category, and with the most occurrences, was visits, specifically carrying out visits to school units, with statements such as, in the action plan we have weekly visits, and, depending on a complaint or something positive, the CAE inspects, and what it works in that location is shared with the rest of the network. Then 2 categories were verified as frequent. The menu category, specifically the assessment of the menu compliance and acceptance, with statements such as, we make visits to see the issue of the snack and how it is being served to the students, and we also do acceptability tests. And the training category, specifically training for lunch workers and CAE qualification, with statements such as, The municipality received from the Collaborating Center for School Food and Nutrition last month and the month before, and we had training and qualification with family farming. Finally, three categories registered with best intensity: bidding, the evaluation of food products and the bidding process; good handling practices, the verification of hygienic sanitary conditions; and exchange, the multiplication of new practices. When the group was asked, how can they contribute to ensuring sustainability and healthiness through social control carried out by the CAE, it was possible to identify the following challenge: adherence of the agents involved to the healthiness of the menu. In this challenge, the two most impactful factors were lack of support from the implementing entity, with statements such as, "We visit the schools on foot. It's very simple, and we didn't have some things in the resolution, and now we can demand them, including from the City Hall, which leaves a lot to be desired." And negative interference from teachers in school meals, with statements such as, "I think the biggest problem in relation to acceptance comes from the teachers, as they criticize a lot without knowing knowledge. And then comes to us, school servants, and some servants also criticize the menu a lot because they don't have knowledge." Another challenge that was identified but mentioned less frequently was low acceptance of the menu. However, participants also presented strategies and opportunities for carrying out social control and guarantees of the healthiness and sustainability of school meals, such as cultivation of the school garden, with statements such as, "In early childhood education, I work with children, in addition to the garden." The garden, the PNC, the non-conventional edible plants, were also talked about sustainability, the planet, and everything else. Partnerships with the technical assistance and rural extension company of the state of Minas Gerais, e-matter, and the holding of public calls, visits to family farming spaces and locations, with statements such as, "We also have a partnership to take children from schools, from municipality early childhood education centers, to get to know the rural area, where this partnership comes from agricultural food to the municipality, also valuing the farmers on our municipality and the region, in addition to the type of food, vegetables and legumes, that reach the children's tables at schools being very important. Actions to make use of full food, participation in training, and improvements in food preparation, with statements such as, "I help the cooks with the preparations to avoid ultra-processed foods, with seasoning that people normally buy a lot," referring to industrialized seasonings. At the end of the two-day workshop, participants answered a questionnaire about their intention to change the way they exercise social control. This questionnaire aimed to evaluate the impact of the educational intervention as a pilot project for other broader scenarios. Effect of educational intervention on the fiscal control of intention of counselors. In this dimension, we had the participation of 12 counselors representing 7 municipalities. Of the total, 100% of the respondents reported intending to question nutritionists about the health promoting capacity of the menus prepared by the PNAE, cultural aspects of the preparations included in the menus prepared by the nutritionist, introduction of foods from local family farming into menus prepared by the nutritionist, impact of menus prepared by the nutritionist concerning environmental sustainability. The CAE intends to pay attention to questions about food waste in schools during the production of meals and in leftovers from students' meals. Through the meetings, it was possible to foster partnerships between half of the CAEs present and enable the exchange of experiences for the development of future actions. Discussion. Consider the related themes as synonyms. Sustainability and sustainable development were defined in 1987 in the Brundtland Report, as to which is capable of meeting current demands without compromising future generations in meeting their own needs. However, the application of this concept entails real difficulties, since to meet current needs, the levels of environmental degradation are increasing. For both, this concept has limitations because it is anthropocentric and does not include other living beings that also need the biosphere and sustainability. For this author, the concept of sustainability must go beyond actions to preserve natural resources and lead individuals to think as subjects integrated into nature. Sustainability directly involves issues such as social justice and values and attitudes towards the development model to which we are subject. It proposes the construction of a new civilizational paradigm in which ecology is not restricted to pure and simple environmentalism. Regarding the importance of understanding the complexity of sustainability and health-being eating, It is necessary to reinforce within the school community that a healthy diet does not have a low environmental impact. Triches warns that the choices of foods that make up a sustainable diet is not limited to the nutritional aspect, but involves an analysis of the impacts generated on health and the environment. It involves at least 5 dimensions: health, economic, cultural, environmental, and agricultural, considering the agri-food system. Thus, the author states that a healthy diet that meets nutritional needs will not always be composed of foods that produce fewer greenhouse gases or that make adequate use of soil, water, and energy. In the research carried out to achieve sustainability in school meals, family farming and actions that reduce environmental impacts were cited as strategies and opportunities, such as combating waste by making full use of food and implementing school gardens. In this research, 96% of the counselors verified the introduction of food from local family farming, a result higher than the data found by Ferraglio et al. In Rio Grande do Sul, 71.2%, which stands out in family farming production and the internal supply of food, and, subsequently, in the supply of food through family farming. This result can be explained by the recognition and favoring of local agriculture by executing entities. Regarding school gardens and their impact on sustainability, we consider what Agino and Tabosa state, presenting them as one of the teaching strategies for environmental education that allows, through practical experience, a learning centered on the active participation of the students, placing them in a preeminent place in the teaching-learning process, and not as mere spectators of knowledge. In view of this, it is possible to emphasize with Carinato that states that all education is environmental, and therefore it is necessary that it is intentionally purposed, and at the same time as education for the environment, education in the environment, and education about the environment, and that it provides a new way of looking, living, facing, being, and relating to the world. Another important factor cited as promoting sustainability was actions that should be developed to reduce food waste. Based on information from the United Nations, around a third of the food produced in the world is not consumed by the population, with this food being lost at some stage of production chain or even being wasted. It is essential that CAE members also understand their role in monitoring actions that promote sustainability. Conclusion. By carrying out this work, it was possible to identify the main facilitators and obstacles to the execution of the CAE's duties. Furthermore, participation in the educational intervention appears to have contributed to raising participants' awareness of the appropriate exercise of CAE and intentions for more effective social control actions. It was also noted that there was a need to intensify training initiatives, courses, and training that helps counselors develop skills and competencies, considering the breadth and complexity of the topic of sustainability in school meals, with a focus on improving the quality of life and well-being of producers, consumers, and also the planet.